Alright, it's time for Looking Glass Knight. Now in a lot of runs this can be one of the more difficult bosses, but only because you need to kill him quickly. If you take too long, Looking Glass Knight will spawn an invader-like enemy to help him out, and you really don't want to fight them both at once. So that forces you into some greedy strategies, forces you to go for some greedy hits that you might not want to go for. If you don't know exactly what you're doing, it's easy to make mistakes and die that way. So one of the things I'm going to do to help combat that is one-hand my rapier. The extra speed makes it much easier to get in hits and get back out. I find it makes it much more forgiving overall. And also, we're not going to have to worry about it too much in this run in the first place, because we have a lot of damage. Killing Mirror Knight quickly is not going to be a problem. Card's Rapier and 80 dex, Ring of Blades +1, Flynn's Ring, Leo Ring. He's not going to last too long. So, let's go. Dark Resin, because that's what he's weakest to. And I'm just going to run by the statues. You can snipe these statues from a safe distance if you like, but there's no real need. You can just run past. Looking Glass Knight always starts with a jump attack. You can just run underneath him and turn around and stab him. That lightning attack is what you want to see. It's easy to get in 2 hits and then get around him. Okay, he can go for a 4th hit there. Part of the problem with Mirror Knight is that attacks are big and slow, and sometimes it's hard to tell when he's done with his combos. But as you can see, damage is really not a problem in this run. Didn't even bother with the Bright Bug, because you just don't need it. He's already dead. After the boss falls, make sure you run forwards here. Those statues can follow you into the room. Don't want to deal with that. Right now, there are 3 bonfire ascetics in that chest. I don't need them in this run, but they could be very useful. The reason we came here was for Titanite chunks. So you could take those ascetics, go to Brightstone, and get your chunks right now. Then you could go into Liam Lois immediately. But there's not a whole lot of need for that. Instead, I'm just going to go through and take out Belstat, and then we can buy the chunks from Cloanne. That'll also allow us to get some extra souls and dark arrows for Liam Lois, which will be nice. And it also saves some time, because we won't have to come back this way later. Free Green Blossom here, if you want it. And now we're heading into Amana. And Amana is going to be very easy in this run. It's almost free. We have a very strong bow. We have the Stone Ring. Forlorn's not going to invade us. I'll point those invasions out when we come to them. Yeah, there's really nothing that can threaten us here, except our own impatience. We one-shot the lizardmen. We two-shot these clerics, and with the Stone Ring, the first shot will stagger them. So if you can land the first, you can land the second. Use lightning arrows because the clerics and mages are resistant to magic, and also because lightning arrows have a lot more range. Though with this strong of a bow, you could probably two-shot them with magic arrows as well. Might even be able to two-shot them with iron arrows, to be honest. Okay, there's a free soul. Right, it's directly in your path, so I recommend picking that one up. Not much reason not to. There are a couple more souls like that later on, which are optional. I'm going to collect them just to show where they are. But unless you're low on souls, you could probably just skip them. Okay, now the first Forlorn invasion we need to worry about is over there on that pathway. So we're just not going to go there. Don't touch that path and you won't get invaded. It's as simple as that. Instead, we're going to take this quicker inside route past this old knight. Snipe that mage. Snipe this other mage in the distance. This one is easy to forget about. Take out the lizard in the water. Where is he? There he is. Now at this point, be careful. That mage over behind that pillar can notice you and take a shot at you. It's rare, but it can happen. So keep an eye out for it. These mages on our left over here will usually take a shot at us, but they can't get us here. It's not a problem. The next Forlorn invasion is by that mage over there. So we're just not going to go that way. We're going to go around on the inside of the building instead and completely bypass the invasion. You should never see Forlorn and Amana in a no-hit run. Okay, now here's the detour I was talking about for another one of those souls. And this does not trigger Forlorn, by the way. You can get to the store safely from this side. So here's a 3k soul, which again, optional. I probably wouldn't bother with it most of the time. Now this is the only real tricky part that we've seen so far. Once you shoot one of these guys, they'll both come charging at you. So we're going to take out one quickly. We'll try and hit the other as he's running at us. There we go. When you two-shot them and you have the stone ring, it's not too difficult. Even if he gets past you there, he has a long way to go before he actually reaches you, so it's not too bad. Now there's a mage in that corner, but she just doesn't notice you for some reason, which is fine by me. And there's a 10k soul over here. We actually want this one. 10k is a lot more than 3. And it's not far out of your way. At this part, you can just run past these guys. You should be able to get through before they can catch you. I don't like to leave enemies alive behind me, so I'm just going to take them all out pretty quick when you one-shot them. Snipe this mage before she can shoot you. I'm also going to snipe this mage in the distance, though I don't think you need to. So I can come over here and pick up this soul. This is the next optional soul. It also comes with a green blossom. Both are optional, but nice to have. Okay, now we're just going to take out these last 2 mages. And then we're going to run through to Demon of Song. We will get invaded, but we're just going to run past him. So let's prepare for Demon of Song now. I want poison arrows. If you're going to use a resin, use lightning or magic. But lightning is cheaper, so go with lightning. I don't think I will use a resin though, because I'd rather shoot some extra arrows. It's not worth my time. Okay, here we're going to get invaded right about here. We need to run. Go quickly, manage your stamina carefully. You should be able to get through the door and the fog gate before he catches you. Hug the wall when going through the fog gate to buy yourself an extra second or 2. Makes it much easier to get through. I'm going to go for a quick poison here. There we go. And a magic arrow for good measure. Didn't get it, that's fine. Oh, there's the attack. That's what we call the belly flop. Though it might be a bit of a misnomer. It's really more of a charging headbutt. That attack is very rare, but very dangerous. Comes out very quickly. And he can do it immediately upon closing his hood, which is why I'm running away from him. Because there's no way you dodge it if you're right next to him. When he's crawling like that, though, you can't transition into the belly flop. So if you see him crawling towards you, move into beta melee attack. But otherwise, you want to stay at range. Stay far back so you won't get hit by the belly flop even if he does it. Of course, that means we're going to have to deal with some of his ranged attacks, which makes him a bit more dangerous. Fortunately, he dies pretty fast. You do want to spend some time learning his ranged moves, though, because you need to be prepared for them, even if the fight is pretty short. Okay, moving on. Shoot the wall to make this guy turn around so we can snipe him. There we go. He's not very intelligent. He remains distracted by the arrow in the wall even after you start shooting him for a couple seconds. So you can just take him out. We're just going to pop some souls on the elevator down. I'm not going to bother to pop the soul of a hero yet because we're going to be picking up quite a few more of these coming up very soon. But we can use the rest. Feline boots, those could be useful. Alright. And we're basically done with this split. We're just going to talk to Aldia and light the bonfire. So Aldia will knock us down here. Again, this is a cutscene, not a hit. It doesn't matter what choice you select, so you can just spam through it. We'll light the bonfire so we have some place to bone out to, and that's it. We'll call that a split.